Cabrina!
I'm one of the Crescent Hill contingent here at the Neighborhood Institute, and my project is called Helping Hands, which I did with the assistance of many other members. Before I go into that, I have like a 4-minute video that has just the history of Crescent Hill, that has a lot of our assets and activities that we do here. And I don't see anything on my screen, but I can do that. And the sound will be really low. I learned a lot about the history of Crescent Hill doing this. For one, there has been a community club in Crescent Hill for almost 100 years. So I wish Barb Sinai was here tonight, because she also would be able to chime in a whole bunch about this. That's the Peterson Juvenile House, which you hear us talking about for the...
Do you need to pass tour?
No, I'm fine. With the home tour this weekend, yes. Some of our larger homes and other residences. That's Marion Court, Courtyard Street. No, I think that was my street height. I got all these images from using the disposable camera and also from our website.
That's the reservoir.
That's Crescent Hill United Ministries, a fired house on Frankfort Avenue, the library, which is having a centennial, Field Elementary School, that was an old school that's been converted into condominiums, the Baptist Theological Seminary, Barrett Middle School, I believe Barb Sinai is going to be selling this at the open house or the home tour. It was originally an advertisement to entice people to come to Crescent Hill. And then she's coordinated with newer photographs of the houses as well. After the tornado, I understand that the Crescent Hill Community Council became revitalized and more unified in its efforts. And it has this current mission statement. We have many activities. There's our word view at the Mardi Gras. We have the Crescent Hill Outdoor Cinema, which I started organizing about 3 years ago. The Frankfort Avenue Business Association does the last Friday of every month. And of course, we have the old-fashioned 4th of July. Yes. And more recently, Halloween. I think that was a couple years ago. It came off the website. That's Kathy Schmidt's house. I think they hope to block the street off next year for Halloween. They're currently planning that. Our holiday open house is actually, I think, next week, maybe. That brings us to my current project that I'm working on with Pat Brinson and another council member named John Schenkenfelder. It's called Helping Hands. And in the handout I gave you is the mission statement we came up with for our network. And I was confused about the 7 things, so I put 3 things that I learned down. But I can't take credit for getting the Helping Hands started. John Schenkenfelder, another council member, if I can turn this off. Here, I can see it now. He kind of got us spearheaded this project. He noticed that a couple doors down from him that his neighbor's yard became unruly and the grass started growing pretty high and the weeds were taken over. And instead of calling IPL and issuing a complaint against them, he just went down and talked to them and discovered that they were renters that were going through a kind of hard time with full-time jobs. And I think they were both like nursing students going through testing or midterms or something. And so he introduced this idea of helping hands and asked them if they would like assistance in their yard. And he provided that himself and helped them get their yard under control under the impression that they would continue to manage that in the future. And they became the first recipients of the Helping Hands Network. Pat Brinson, myself, and John got together and we kind of fleshed out what we wanted for our mission for this project. And we realized we really needed the community behind us as well. So we had contacted the district representatives that are in the council to see if they would be interested in supporting this project. And of course, they were all on board. So we had John make a proposal at our, I think it was the October council meeting, or I think it was October, and it was passed. So now Helping Hands is officially a network of neighbors helping neighbors as part of the social committee, which Dee is the chairperson of. Let's see. Since that, then we've helped one other neighbor that was in need of assistance. What we found from that one experience is it was a woman who had fallen and had injured her leg quite a bit that would probably need more like 2 to 3 months worth of assistance, which is beyond what this network we're trying to establish is for. So we were able to put her in contact with the Meals on Wheels program, so she could get 2 minutes. So she could get assistance through that. And we realized that we have so many other resources in Crescent Hill that we want to start doing more networking within our neighborhood or community so that we will be able to give those people who need further assistance rather than just temporary help, put them in touch with those kind of resource projects. What we plan to do is just our next steps are to promote Helping Hands Network via our website, our newsletter, possibly in welcome bags. I think, Dee, did I hear that you might be writing an article for the newsletter? We are also interested in recruiting volunteers. Pat Brinson came up with a great asset survey that we hope to get out to the public. Either we're going to be also canvassing our neighborhood in hopes of getting the neighborhood assessment going. So we'll probably be doing a couple things at one time. Let's see. Oh, and we also are meeting hopefully this week with United Crescent Hill Ministries to find out the larger resources for people who need further assistance rather than just temporary help. And then John also had a great idea to keep track of the people that are helped. I crossed out their names because for privacy, but to also recognize those people who volunteer and assist with Helping Hands and recognize them in some way, either at council meetings or in the newsletter. Does anybody have any questions?
We have about 30 seconds for questions.